Hi, my name is Elise Bernthal, and this is my Culturally Responsive Library project. I'm interning at Booker T. Washington Child Development Center, which is a Head Start in downtown Phoenix. The children in my classroom are 4 and 5 years old, and for this project I analyzed 50 books. My classroom demographics. There are 18 children in my classroom, 11 boys and 7 girls. There are 15 students who are Latinx and 3 who are African American. They're all living in urban settings, that is downtown Phoenix. 3 of them have non-visible disabilities. They visit a speech therapist. And there's 1 student who has a mother with a visible disability. 10 of the students have a family structure other than 2 parents and 2 children. And out of the 18, there are 2 who are religious, 1 who is Jewish and 1 who is Catholic Christian. Now on to my findings. For gender, I found that out of the 50 books, there are 41 who had female characters, 36 who had male characters, and 19 with non-human characters. There were no books that showed non-binary characters. Now on to race. Out of the 50 books, there was a lot of cultural diversity. Most notably, there are 18 that showed African American or Black characters, 12 with Latinx characters, and 27 with white characters. There were also 3 books that showed Native American or Indigenous characters, and it should be noted that of these books, none of them were about Thanksgiving. This illustration on the right is from the book Black, White, Just Right, and it shows a mixed race family. Setting. I found that the settings of the books that I analyzed were varied, but the most prevalent was urban at 15 books. Disabilities. There were 3 books that featured characters with disabilities. The one on the left was a book about people who are blind and how they use Braille to read. The book in the middle, Don't Call Me Special, is just a general book about explaining disabilities and how to include these peers. And the book on the right was called Leo the Late Bloomer, about a character who just takes his time to develop. For family structure, there was one book that specifically stuck out to me. It's called Who's in a Family, and this book showed a really wide variety of different family structures, different races. It also showed lesbian parents, gay parents, divorced parents, and even a grandma raising her grandchildren. And there were also other books, 18 to be exact, that showed family structures other than a mother, father, and 2 children. Languages. There were 12 books that featured other languages. 6 of them were written in Spanish. 2 of them were bilingual, which meant that they had the same story in Spanish and in English. And there were 4 that were about people who spoke other languages and included some words. I found it interesting that the book Corduroy, there was an English version and there was a Spanish version. Here are some more of the books from other languages. The top 2, the left and middle top, they are books about children from around the globe. The top right book is a book about the language Zulu, and it's set in South Africa. On the bottom left, this is a bilingual book that shows the same story in English and in Spanish. The bottom middle is about a Chinese girl who moves to the United States and learns English. And then the bottom right is just a Spanish book. In conclusion, my classroom library is both a mirror and a window. I think the library does a good job of being a mirror because it shows both boys and girls in the books. There are lots of Latinx and African American characters. There are lots of books in urban settings. There are Spanish-speaking characters and Spanish books, and there's a showcase of different family structures. As for a window, the books show races and cultures other than Latinx and African American, including a few books about children from around the globe. There are also books about languages other than just English and Spanish. There are other settings, such as rural and suburban. There are children with visible disabilities, and there are also lesbian and gay parents. That concludes my analysis. Thank you so much for watching my video.